Lama Tenzin is an ordinary Tibetan monk with an extraordinary mission. For the first time in 7 years, Lama Tenzin is taking 11 children on an incredible journey back to their roots. In the year 2001, he rescued these children from miserable living conditions in Upper Dolpo, one of the most remote regions of Nepal. Lama Tenzin built a home for the children in India and started the Children's Education Development Society, the CED, where they could receive health care and education in a nourishing environment.
The mission is special. We are taking care for the children who is special in the Himalayan border region and who is totally hopeless, out from the communities, out from the caste. So those are the children we rescue and give the opportunity to, through the education, to stand in the communities.
These children have not seen their homes since the day they left for the CED. For some, the separation has lasted as long as 7 years. Their parents hold on to the bright hope that these children will return home to uplift their communities one day. This is the story of the first of many homecomings for the children. On this journey, Lama Tenzin intends to keep 2 promises. First, he has promised the children that they will be in their parents' arms again. And second, he promises their families that they will see how education has changed the lives of the children. Before they begin, Lama Tenzin makes sure that they are spiritually prepared here at the Buddhanath Stupa Shrine in Kathmandu. This has been an important pilgrimage site for Tibetan Buddhists since the 13th century. Every spin of the turning prayer wheels generates goodwill and peace under the serene gaze of the Buddha's all-seeing eyes. Walking the waking journey. An epic voyage to awaken humanity and open a door to the future. The Himalayas are famous for having the highest mountains in the world. Mention the Himalayas, and we picture men and women of all nationalities risking their lives to scale Everest or K2. Those that succeed are glorified for their accomplishments in the climbing world. But unlike most Himalayan expeditions, this one is not about the mighty footsteps of men and women conquering the world's highest mountains. This journey is about the small yet meaningful steps of children, guided by a determined young man. Like thousands of other expeditions that begin here, this journey has all the excitement and danger of a classic Himalayan adventure. Mountain passes at altitudes of 18,000 feet, extreme weather conditions, and even the ever-present possibility of death. This expedition will proceed on foot for 30 days. They will need to take everything they need with them, including 30 days' worth of food, equipment, medical supplies, and gifts for the village children they will be meeting along the way. Traveling with them is Lama Tenzin's sister, Pempa. Pempa is the CED foster mother of the children of Dolpo.
Before the track called me and they said, you have to go. And I go with the children and I said, would you like to go to your place? They said, yes. I said, we're going to see your parents. And I said, especially me. I said, I would like to go with you guys if you want to take me. And they were so happy and they said, yes, we like to take you to our parents. And I said, let's go. We'll go together. And they was prepared because I think more than physically, you need to mentally prepare for anything to do.
Oh, Dai, mix kar dena. Hello.
The children are ready. The excitement of the journey ahead and the coming reunion with their families is etched on their faces. The children finally begin their voyage to their villages of Charka, Karang, Saldang, and Marang in the Himalayan border region of Dolpo. Though Dolpo is a remote and ancient mountain region, its territories have been drawn into political interests in the Himalayas. Dolpo became part of Nepal in the 19th century. The children of Dolpo were born on the borders of Nepal, India, and Tibet. In their harsh realities, it seems they belong nowhere.
The border children, and they look like Tibetan traditional and they are Buddhisms, but they live under the Nepali governments, or the Indian governments. But the Indian and Nepal, they always say, oh no, they are Tibetans. And then when the Tibetans, they try to getting help from Tibetan, they say, oh no, they are Indian or they are Nepali.
From Kathmandu, they will fly to Jomsom on a commercial airline. From there, it will be a 30-day trek to their villages. The children look forward to the airplane ride. For Sandup, this is a dream. He wants to become a pilot when he grows up.
I'm very happy to ride this, to fly up in the eye, to see many things in the down. I'm very excited to see this. That's it. Good because I have first time to get into airplane, and I'm so excited to meet my parents.
I'm very excited about this trip because this is a really big mission of CED Society. That we dream about that the last 8 years. Now it's going to become true. They are very happy and they said, yeah, we'll go up and we're going to tell everybody that how important the education of their life.
Before the children can board their flight, the skies cloud over and rain begins to pour. The flight has been canceled and the children's hopes are dampened.
I don't like it. I don't want to go. It doesn't matter whatever happens. And also, like they say, it might be risk weather. I don't want to take it like they say weather trembling and all this stuff. Okay?
However, Lama Tenzin does not consider the cancellation an obstacle to his plans. If they cannot go by air, then they will proceed on land. Lama Tenzin commandeers a bus to take them as far as the village of Beni.
Commitment to where definitely these children, after 7 years, they're going back to village. And my responsibility, commitment has to go back to meet with their families. That's my commitment.
The children continue on their way, but instead of being transported through the air, they travel along the bumpy back roads of Nepal. The journey is beset with delays and obstructions. First, on their way to Beni, they must transfer to another vehicle. Then their bus gets stuck in the mud. Each time they are delayed, Lama Tenzin refuses to be put off. This is a tireless man who accepts no obstacles.
The driver went to check out the road. It is good, so we can continue the same bus. We don't need to take unloading and loading stuff, things, luggage. So that's good. Driver will be back, then we can see how they work.
The children are waiting once again, but they remain patient.
Actually, we have two 4x4 Jeep we are renting, but actually they have something emergency. Jeep person, they come and they request for us to the emergency. This man, he has emergency. Can he go first? So we say okay, let them go first because we have the busy schedule, but still we can handle it. Because this man is like really going to die, so we offer for them to take first.
Lama Tenzin, in his humility, will not say so himself, but he has just carried out a quiet act of compassion for his fellow human beings. Although the children's journey is of great importance, the sick man's life comes first. They finally have both jeeps back, and they are raring to go. Today, Lama Tenzin and the children are aiming to reach the town of Jompsum. It is only the second day of the children's journey, and already their route begins to look perilous.
Good job. Good job. Good job. 안다 찾니 안기로 거다. 인기 저로 잘라 마파고 여기 온 거라.
Up ahead, a landslide of massive boulders blocks the road. It will take days to clear the way. Dynamite will be needed, but it will take another day to get explosives to the site. Again, Lama Tenzin refuses to wait or turn back. He and the children jump into action. Pempa and the older children help him build a makeshift shelter to keep the small children dry. Pema Lamo is 15 years old. When she left her village of Karang to join Lama Tenzin, she was 10 years old and could not read or write. If she had stayed on in Karang, she might have been married and with child by the age of 14. Now she is the eldest child in CED, and much is expected of her.
I am oldest children of CED. I take care of all children. I make for food all children, and I see for all children. This is my duties.
Karma left his village with Lama Tenzin when he was 3 years old. Back in their villages in Dolpo, the children would be carrying back-breaking loads every day. Children such as these, who are from the lower castes of society, would spend their childhood working without time for school, dreams, or ambitions.
I have to learn education and knowledge from CET because we all have no any education, and they need doctor, and they need some pilot, and they need some artist, they need some beautician, the other else. And when I grew up, I became into a doctor.
चलो हमारे साथ चलो चलो हमारे साथ हम जिंदगी भर पालेगा नाश्ता क्या
At last they arrive in Jomsom. What should have been a simple 1-hour flight has taken them 3 days of grueling road travel. The roads into the mountains stop here. From Jomsom, the children will begin the long walk home. Meet Mr. Thinley, who is the chief of the Dolpo village of Saldang. Mr. Thinley is highly respected throughout Dolpo. He helps Lama Tenzin organize his expeditions in search of children to rescue. This time, Mr. Thinley cannot come along. He has been diagnosed with cancer. His daughter Dawa will go with the children up to Saldang. The people of Dolpo lead tough, semi-nomadic lives in a harsh environment. As the seasons change, they move to winter settlements where there are pasture lands for their yak, goats, and sheep. These animals provide agricultural work, milk, meat, wool, and dung for fuel. They also plant barley, potatoes, wheat, and millet, but they harvest once a year. One crop will feed a family for 4 to 7 months only. Food for the rest of the year is scraped together through trade. The men trade between the nomads of Tibet and the hill farmers of Nepal. The nomads bring Tibetan salt, while the Nepalese farmers trade their crop surplus for the salt. One of the few things that the people of Dolpo can trade for cash is the Yarsa Gumbo. It means summer grass, winter insect. It is produced when a fungus inhabits the larvae of the tiger moth and digests the caterpillar from the inside. The people search for it in the ground, dry it, and grind it into a fine powder. This powder is believed by the Chinese to hold medicinal and aphrodisiacal properties. During the peak season, outsiders compete fiercely with Dolpo locals in the hunt for Yarsa Gumbo. In Jomsom, Lama Tenzin recruits porters, but they are reluctant. They will need 18 horses and donkeys, and 3 men to carry 4 sacks of potatoes, 8 sacks of rice and wheat flour, other food supplies, and camping equipment. A bargain is struck. The expedition will depart from Jomsom in 2 days' time. To help the children acclimatize, Lama Tenzin takes them for a day trek to Therapati Temple on a mountain just above Jomsom. They carry prayer flags with them that they prepared for the journey.
So we already prepared the before from the NC. They say why we going there, and then what our mission is, and what kind of things we can show the family what they learn, and then what we're going to bring back to in and then on the missions. So those are things are like they're exciting for them to going up there.
As their prayer flags dance in the wind, the children's wishes to see their families fly out into the universe. With their prayers on the wind and their hearts, minds, and bodies ready to go, the children and their unlikely expedition set out on foot towards home. Lama Tenzin's playfulness conceals his thoughts on the dangers that lie ahead of them. He must see to it that the children make it home in one piece, so that there will be many more pilgrimages in the future. It was on a summer pilgrimage that Lama Tenzin and his brothers first visited Dolpo. They wanted to go somewhere that would feel like Tibet, for they were Tibetans, born in exile, and had never seen their motherland. Dolpo has been part of the Tibetan-speaking world since the 7th century, and so the 3 brothers chose to head for this mountainous region. Inexperienced trekkers from the city, they got lost and ran out of food. They were offered shelter in a Dolpo village. What they saw there changed their lives.
And she said, please take my child to India for the education.
Himalayan region, they have a lot of girls, mostly girls, they have less opportunity to go to school, and they are starting their work when they're 4 years old until the 13, 14, and then after 13, 14, they have to getting married.
Right then, Lama Tenzin decided that he had to do something for the children of Dolpo.
It's not like somebody who can guide me to say you have to do these things. It just came up and I just follow because I feel I like it and I believe like it's the more important than my religious. So I just do these things. And especially my teacher who teach me like it's not only you, when you do a chanting, when you do a dharma, it's not only just dharma. Dharma means like you do something good work, good karma.
Lama Tenzin decided to build a home for children on the family property. He called on his mother and his sisters to help him.
When they heard about this thing, they become so mad. They say, no, that's not a good idea. Why are you bringing these children? What's the relative with this them? A relationship with them. So then I just say, I don't know, but we just went to there, we saw the children, we just brought it back, so we see this situation. Then after that, is a very much my sister, like it become a little bit quiet, and she said, okay, let me think about this one, talk to my moms. And it's the porter, they don't want to go out there. So that's why, we have to camp here today.
Pampa, Lama Tenzin's sister, agreed to help. She traveled back and forth to Delhi, trying to sell a 32-year-old family business in the garment industry. She was pregnant at the time and lost her baby on one of the long train rides.
The baby was no more, and I didn't see his face. And the boy who is delivering, and he was calling me, "Are you crazy? You are taking such a long journey." I never think about my baby. I was thinking for my families, and who's surviving from me, because I always keep them in mind. So I never feel that myself is very important.
Pampa and her husband now regard the rescued children as their family. In the CED home, Nawang Chuden helps to take care of 21 children. The first days of the trek are blessed with fine weather. The children are unfazed by the plunging gorges as they trudge up narrow trails in single file, their feet lightened by song and laughter.
Hi. BBC.
Without realizing it, they covered a great distance. The children have been walking for up to 10 hours, every day for 4 days. Today, they take time to rest. Lama Tenzin maintains their CED schedule of chanting and writing or drawing entries in their journals daily.
And this is my house, this is my kitchen, and my father and mother make food for me.
When I was a child, it's really, we don't have any kind of dream. Because my family has a lot of childs, and and every single child has a very less opportunity to be study. But still, my mother worked hard to give all the equals education.
다도 공부할 때 공부를 rimbache 공부를 셰피슈 공부 잡긴 때 셰피슈 rimbache 셰피슈 되네라 아니 배트 코란데 rimbache 진다 템바다 콜레세 페 콜레세는 tinda 템데브레스
강 캠르체 강보다 좋아도 대수도 뭐 다들 건도 좋아도 다 삼바요 말다. We are staying behind these mountains for the tomorrow, but tomorrow is a very hard journey. But day after tomorrow too. But that's one of the two main highest journey before we get to Charka.
Pampa cooks traditional Tibetan bread over the fire. This will help the children store energy for the following day's challenges. Despite the rain, wind, and cold, the children set out for Sangdak, the next village along the way. From there, they will continue walking to Charka, their first destination. They are all in high spirits, even as they negotiate steep paths of rock and make their way across ice-cold, raging waters. When Lama Tenzin became a monk, his teacher taught him, "You must sleep like a pigeon that is always alert, because now you are responsible for all human beings."
One luggage each horse can take.
Lama Tenzin returns to Dolpo every year, looking for other children to rescue. Instead of pursuing a life of meditation in a monastery, he devotes himself to the children. Lama Tenzin's choice to work for the well-being of children is like the choice made by bodhisattvas. In Tibetan Buddhism, it is believed that bodhisattvas are persons who postpone their own enlightenment so that they can help others to attain theirs.
Whenever you get up, then before you eat, before you do anything, so you have to say thanks for the gods. Today I'm alive. So today whatever I'm receiving, whatever I'm giving is all these helpful, these sentient beings. So those are things that we do in practice. And then we are continue following our daily other activities. $13,500 feet above sea level. The highest villages on earth are here in Charka Valley, in the southern part of Dolpo. After traveling on foot for 6 days, they arrive in Charka Bat. This is the village of Chuni Lamu and her mother, Karma Doma. When Lama Tenzin came to Charka Bat in 2001, he invited one girl, Chuni, and her mother, Karma Doma, to join the CED. This is the only instance in which he also rescued a parent. Place where I found the tree, with her aunt to carry the water, 15-liter container water.
저기 칼라센테 좀 간다. 간다 칼라세. 당한저 군나니. 군나니. 저게 야나 나만 저인. 양거든. 된 저기 인공 임바테서. 인공 임바테. 대 건다 칼라 건다 저저 걸부. 칼라사지.
So today maybe she's not doing this thing. Maybe hopefully maybe she's going to be a great teacher to help all the children to not like child laborers.
Lama Tenzin holds a special agreement with the children at CED. After they complete their studies, they will be given work and earn an income at the CED home. Then, they are to spend 6 months of each year back in their own villages, teaching and helping their neighbors. For now, Lama Tenzin instructs them on this important mission in simple ways. He teaches them to show simple acts of kindness towards the children they meet. They have carried school supplies with them all this way to distribute to local schools. Chuni's father left before she was born. Abandoned. Chuni and Karma Doma had to work in other villagers' houses in order to earn their food. They became outcasts. Yang Chen, another sister of Lama Tenzin, who has come along for the trek, cuts the hair of a child who has a severe case of head lice and sores. She explains the importance of cleanliness to the mother. Even basic education on health and hygiene could change the lives of women and children in Dolpo, as it has for Pempa Yamo. Pema Lamo is always the busiest of the CED children. Aside from her own studies, she is also responsible for the younger children. She helps bathe the small ones and makes sure that everyone and everything keeps clean.
When I am 10 years old, Lama Tenzin came from Dolpo. Then we 10 children take set house and many take and first we are showers. Teacher did brush and how we are wash clothes, how we are washing our head. Lama Tenzin brought so many things like towels, clothes, and then we shower and clothes, and we are so happy. And
this is the first day for washing since they left Kathmandu, and the last one until the end of the journey. Raising the children and tending the house, animals, and fields is the work of women in Dolpo. The children help collect dung for fuel. In the wintertime, the women are left to fend for themselves. The men travel, carrying out trade and manual labor in order to earn cash. Sometimes a mother or a child perishes in the harsh winter. Mortality rates for mothers and children are high in Dolpo.
Their life is like a blind, totally dark. They have no choice. Or even you can say there's no life, They're just giving a birth the baby, or they're looking for their family, or they're going for the field. In my point of view, I think they have no life, They're just like idle people, You have a specific, you have to do this, and do this. That's the only thing you have to do. You have to stay beyond, you have to stay under this line. That's the life in there.
Karma Dolma earns an income by working with Pempa in the CED home. On this visit, she gives all her savings to her mother. They do not know when they will see each other again. Karma Dolma will leave with Chuni and continue her work at the CED. After Chuni and Karma Dolma have said their goodbyes, they all press on for Karang, where the rest of the children come from. They are re-energized from their 2-day rest in Char Kabat. Lama Tenzin realizes that 6 hours of walking a day will not get them to their destination in good time. Their food supply decreases each day, and winter is coming. From now on, they must walk for at least 10 hours a day. They have been traveling for 13 days now, but this is where the journey becomes truly punishing. To keep them going, Lama Tenzin reminds the children of their special role in this world.
First step is can bring a big hope for the other children in the Dolpo. That's our first goal. Their first goal is their own village. Then second goal is like all over the world. They can bring the message. They have a lot of children. Even they call it like a lower caste or hopeless, but they have the same hope, same as like their child, the city or whatever. So they have a possible to change the a life for these children in the Himalayan border regions. Those kids, whenever they go up there, they have inside this a hope to they are going to change the Dolpo. So those are things like excitements. They give them energy to go up. Like it's one of the
trails they walk upon become treacherously thin. The pack horses are sent ahead to reduce the risk of the children getting pushed off the trail. They must exercise caution at all times.
they are discussing about the road. They have a problem all the way out there. They have some problem with the neck. Sure. They have some road like a landslide.
Oh.
So they have a problem. They could not go up there, but they have to very carefully go one by one. They have to go. Yes, they are getting some fear, but I have more than the fear. Is I have a more opportunity. I just always made putting a more opportunity, like hope on the front of the fear. So when I put the hope in front of the fear, then I forget the fear, because of I knew in this fear they cannot make my mission possible. So I was taking my hope to say yes, I can do this, and then I can get these things. So that's why I always they have a less fear. Yes, I do have fear, but they have less fear.
This elevation, the air is thin and the cold is piercing. Breathing is difficult and the terrain is punishing. They are far from their target destination, but the children have slowed down. Soon it will be dark. Karma feels the toll of days of trekking with only breakfast and dinner to fuel his young body. A severe headache brings him to tears. Some of the other children are also complaining of headaches. It is the altitude taking an effect on their bodies. These children were born in the highest villages in the world, but they have lived in lower altitudes for so long. It will take time for their bodies to readjust. Lama Tenzin takes Karma in his arms and does his best to make Karma feel better, reassuring him that all will be well by morning. The horses too feel the brunt of the journey under the weight that they have been carrying day in and day out. The horsemen sing to them to give them courage and strength. The children are now walking noticeably slower. Their footsteps are no longer accompanied by laughter and song. The simple act of putting one foot in front of the other leaves them all breathless. Children, adults, and animals alike struggle with every step they take towards the highest mountain pass on this journey. At 18,000 feet above sea level, they need to stop to rest every 15 minutes. Even tireless Lama Tenzin has become unusually quiet and gasp for breath. He no longer speaks words of encouragement to the children, as he must train all his energy into leading them through the pass. He knows the challenges and treachery of this mountain pass only too well. Here, the sheer difficulty of breathing and moving can bring on panic and disorientation. Lama Tenzin must remain focused. Cold, wet, and hungry, Pema Lama is stricken with hypothermia, one of the many risks trekkers are exposed to in the Himalayas. Her body is losing heat. If her body temperature drops further, she will fall into a stupor, and her body will slowly begin to shut down. There are no hospitals, doctors, or clinics anywhere nearby. Lama Tenzin and Pempa rely on the traditional remedies of the experienced Sherpas to help Pema Lama regain consciousness. They must do everything they can to warm her. Aware of what has happened to her daughter, Pema Lama's mother, Niman Hamu, eagerly awaits their arrival and dreams of her daughter's future.
Tene chik arong yalla lopchang de ten ni rang patkin samlo medic rang de yul do ko kazaka mi kyom to ko tele da tok hi zum chat di lamga de la mi kyom shon te yalla lang ni kewa te sang kewa in chi yang to po se ting ti phita te wale chik do ko choba da ko shon tel cha phur kang pin nang kewa ni in odi je ngarang samlo ko odi ra moleng lop zo ko odi ra cha lopchang de pe mi yak ko charo ki 인직 민직에 파 강건 삼로 매티지 롭정테 삼로 땅데 어떻게 길러서
Younger children are anxious about their Pema Lama, who they consider their eldest sister. The Sherpas help to revive her, but she remains weak. She cannot walk and must be carried in a basket by one of the Sherpas. This is not the strong Pema Lama that the other children have come to love. Try to lift her spirits with songs and silly antics. With a smile comes to her lips, they know she is out of harm's way. Children have been walking 10 days out of 16 of exhausting travel.
What?
This is a salon.
Where's your village?
Over there.
When they see Karang in the distance at last, all their hardships lift from them. Home is within sight.
This is a Saldang, and this is a Karang, and up there is the Marang. We are very close, maybe 2 hours.
high mountain passes have robbed them of their energy. But now their smiles return to their faces, and there's a spring in their steps again. Hardly able to contain themselves, the children sometimes burst into a run. Their shouts of triumph echo over the mountains as they steadily close the final gap between themselves and their families. The moment they have all been dreaming of is close at hand, and their hearts beat in anticipation. Some of the children hesitate. They stop right before the entrance to their village. Some of them don't remember this place. They were babies when they left to join Lama Tenzin at CED, and it looks different from the place in their dreams. The older children egg the younger ones on. This is it. They wait for their families on the grounds of a newly built primary school. At first, no one is there, but moments later, the village children gather around. News of their arrival quickly spreads through the village, and the women begin to come in from the fields. Lama Tenzin is greeted with respect. As he watches the many reunions taking place around him, he beams with joy of having fulfilled his promise to the children. The village children and the CED children greet each other happily and quickly resume their friendship and games, even though they have become quite different from each other over the years of their separation. Mothers of the children come bearing buttered tea to welcome and warm them all, as is customary in Tibetan culture. They touch their heads together, gently, in acts of reverence and love, and say, Tashi Delek, meaning auspicious greetings or great blessings. As evening draws near, cheerful karma becomes pensive. All the families are here, except for his. Nobody knows why his family hasn't come. As everyone heads for home with their parents and siblings, he prepares to stay in Pema Lama's home for the night.
Look at him, how he's just running out. Karma, good news. This is the Karma fathers, so like almost like 7 years they never see each other. The first time, and he just recently back from this place where he worked. He don't know we are coming, so that's why he's so excited. Look at him. Yay! Yeah,
चलो कर्मा चलो
That is the Palatuza, that is law, the Palun, law. That is law, that is Palesa, that is law. Tai, ये बैग यहाँ रख दो, पैसा ले जाएगा. ये आपका वाला ना ये रख दो, ये ले जाएगा. कर्मा ले जाएगा. ना, देखिए क्या, क्या, दादू नीचे, कुछ नीचे गाने तो दिंगे लाये ला, तो पल्ले सा, तटो. आज काम चल रहा.
Sure. La. Palile stage good amatu la. Ko tanjin ta de da. E chem.
만지나 쉬면 됐다. 쟤는 살아야 돼.
La. Tisa. La. Sakate pomate khate pakate marte. Ah, pak marte. Je ta ko tanjin minse. You see that? What's going on? Uh-oh. You got it. Got it, come on. Yay.
My father and me have one black horse. Tomorrow you see, we have a black horse and it is too fat. It is a black. To rearing the sheep, and I collect the wood, and it is used to make the fire. Be careful of staircase. Be careful of letters. Be careful of.
Karma's father paints tongas and casts statues for the monastery in Karang. His mother looks after the children and tends their animals.
And also a lot of people, they have different kind of diseases. Recently we went to track, and then most of the people, they have very high fevers, like a flu. But these people, they don't know what kind of diseases, and they don't have any tablets, but they're just waiting for the days when it's going to be fine, without any treatment. So we give us some of the tablet. Within the one night, they're done, good. They're just like a big, they feel like it's some like magic. They like you say, oh God, thank you very much. So those are the kind of things, like these children, they bring this some kind of like a Western technology to help to their like medical things and other stuff things like how to cleanings and all this stuff thing. But they can still continue to keep their own culture and religious. Okay. We make a balance. We do a balance, like, so it's very important that they can preserve their culture, continue their lineage, and also bring the modern. Family, I talk with the families and also for the children too. So most of I say, their mission is special. They can save another child life. They can, like say, for example, once girls, they go back and we can build a school, and each kid, they can run the school or medicals, anything. So they can take care for other 200 kids.
Lama Tenzin hears of a baby girl with a cleft lip and palate. Babies born with deformities are severely neglected in Dolpo. This is one of the harsh realities of life here. Lama Tenzin seeks out her family. Lama Tenzin offers to take the baby with him to the CED home and to find sponsors for her surgery. It is a delicate negotiation.
First of all, we have to tell all the detail what we're doing, why we're doing, because these people are very ancient people. It's not easy to, you can just get it. Even though you can just put $1 million, they're not going to agree. Especially these girls. So girls are very difficult to get off. So we try our best to how we want to. Main so the kharsna, that is sumero. Chita eto finje. Chigni kharsna pagila ada ko pu labda didwa tinashir. Chigni kharsna operation chini ya khyo. Dirwa ada nedang sumere. So we say, okay, we give it 3 options. Once, the main bottom line, she needs a surgery. And then they have 3 options. Once the parent can go with the child to do a surgery in India, or they can go with the child, do surgery, and leave it there to the orphanage. We can raise it. Or they can just give it the child. So we give it 3 options for them. So they are just now discussing about what we have to do. So let's see what they're going to say. The girl she born in here, she's like she has before one child who is also died in the 2 years old when she has also same problem like this, and there's only one, then they pass. And now this is the second one is the girls, which is they have 2 different ways. So this is very, difficult to them because they are very shy. They always keep the girls in the home. Nobody want to see, and they just feed. And then they always think like just living, just feed some food, and they die. They're just thinking. They have no hoping to. They have a future of these girls.
The children's time with their families ends all too soon. It is time to head back to India and to their lives in the CED. Pamelamo's mother anoints every child with butter, which is a sign of protection. She stuffs their pockets with yak cheese to stave off their hunger.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Village chief is Sandup's grandfather. He comes to see the children off. Seeing the tears running down everyone's faces, he admonishes them to stop crying and reminds them that it is for the benefit of the entire village that the children return to CED to continue their education.
Now again, I'm feeling very sad because I live village and native places, and also my father, also my mother, because fathers is going together with us to make a passport, and also very sad because why of the my village, but my the lonely and way of my house is that is the Karang. But I forget that I live in Tiling, but it is not a Tiling, but it is a Karang. At Tiling there's no any home with my home.
The trek out of Dolpo is as risky and difficult as the way coming in. Some of the children's parents will go with them as far as the border town of Dunai, where passports will be processed for the children. The long journey has taken its toll on Pempa, who suffers pains from an old injury. Chin Sang-mu carries the most fragile weight of all, his daughter. Her name is Tendril Metak, which means harmony flower. Under the care of her father and Lama Tenzin's sisters, Tendril Metak survives the harsh journey down to the lower valleys. From here, all the CED children will return to India to continue their education.
They have any kind of guarantee they all are going back, but on the beginning, when this first time they join it, we already on the, say for example, when you work in the field, when you're beginning on the seed, if you work hard, then you know what kind of result is going to coming. Same like that, on the beginning, the first batch on 2001 they came. We have like every morning we are teaching them to, we're giving you education and then all the facilities. Because of this, we saw your village situation, your region situation. We need to, you are the one of these, the changing the life of this Dolpo. So you are the one who has to go back there and help them. So then other people, they can help, but it's not going to be a continue. But you guys that belong to this place, so you can easily help them.
At the CED home, Lama Tenzin and the children make their way toward a better future for themselves and for Dolpo. After glimpsing the future, it is now held in their tiny hands, and together they continue to walk the waking journey.
Have you heard the call, a whisper in the wind? When you fly and when you fall, you can hear the voice within. From wherever you may stand, from whichever point on earth, there's spirit in your hands. There's a moment's giving birth to infinite possibilities, to love and serve mankind. Your brother and your sister, we're all the same inside. Walk with me, though the future may seem blurry. Walk with me, for we're on the waking journey. of our own mountains, we each have our own paths. We speak in the same language when we cry and when we laugh. Our children are our children, they each deserve a chance to blossom into flowers, rich doors of sun and dance.